hit the doors. You do want to print literature, and truthfully, if you're running your campaign right, literature will probably be what you're spending most of your money on. If you can afford to do mailers to the voters in your area, that's great. If not, just printing something out and taking it door to door, that's the way to do it. Recruiting volunteers is great. This is a good place to get your spouse involved if they're not running for something themselves, because they can call through your friends and they can recruit these volunteers. For some of these bigger races, Mill Creek Mayor, you're probably going to be out knocking on doors 5 days a week for months. The lower races, you don't have as many voters, so it might not be that intense, but maybe there are a lot of people running in your area and you do need to maintain that contact. Who do you target? Well, actually, let's jump down to what's my win number, because that's really the most important thing. That's how many votes do you need to win. And you would think that it's 50% of your district plus 1 vote, but it's a little more nuanced than that, because of course not everyone is registered to vote, and not everyone who votes, or not everyone who is registered to vote actually votes. So in other races, you can look at the last 12 or 16 years to determine who's going to vote, because these are new districts. I have to say it's going to be a little harder to figure out. I would suggest look at the numbers of the House members, the Utah State House members who ran in your district, see how many people voted in those races, and that'll start to give you an idea of how many people are actually engaged enough to vote. So once you have that number, divide it by half and add 1, and that's your win number right there. That's who you have to actually get out. So who do you target? Again, go back to your constituency leaders. If you don't think you have time to go out and knock on the doors of the people who have said that LGBT issues are the #1 issue, then maybe you can ask them to do the same for you, and start to whittle down those numbers. How are you going to manage your data? It all used to be on paper, and it was all in Excel spreadsheets. Now there's some software. I know there's a software called Nation Builder you might want to look into, and that keeps track of your voter database. And that way, when you call someone, you can look up their number and make a note that their dog's name is Mitch, and you can mention that when you talk to them, and it helps build that connection. So manage that data is very important. How many rounds? If you talk to one person in March, they might not remember to go out and vote for you in June. So you need to talk to people, even supporters, multiple times. I like to, my magic number is 4. I talk to people 4 times. Usually by the 3rd time they're telling me not to call them. But unfortunately, if they're not voting, they need to get out there. After 4, I kind of give up.